back there and his door was open. I said, oh God, please don't be on a walk.
Alright, so we're gonna start with the first exercise. And it was just capturing eye contact. So this should be really easy. So, this is here, so this is another like BD3 fan. What's capturing this?
That is where you wait for dogs well animals to do a behavior you do naturally and mark it and reward it.
Right, so basically I'm not gonna talk to them. Kind of crazy here. I stole some of your cookies or HTC. Okay, maybe put those, is that food, like human food? Okay. So we're basically gonna just hang out and we're gonna ignore him. And then when he makes eye contact, we're gonna give him a treat. So I'm not really doing the pet zen just yet because I just wanna train this foundational behavior. Maybe we should have next time we'll put the dog in like first.
No, that was
I can also like put you on the leash too. I like to do pet zen off the leash at first because I don't want the dog to think that, I don't want them to think that I'm controlling them with the leash. Because part of the exercise, is teaching the dog some deference. So he's learning that instead of relying on his own ability to grab the treat, that he should ask me for it. Because later, instead of doing that, so here he's showing the opposite of deference. He's just a kind of, self-reliant, and I'm just gonna get it for myself. So we're gonna teach him that we are capable physically of keeping the treat from him, right? How are we gonna do that? We're going to build up situations where we can prevent him from getting the treats, and then gradually make it harder and harder until it's impossible for us to keep the treats from him. But he won't know, right? Because he'll have such a huge bank of successes from asking us for our treats, and so few successes from going after them right away. So he was offering me eye contact, so I'm just gonna now hold the treats, kind of up and away from his face. I don't wanna see any jumping up for them. I just wanna see that he's noticed them and he's interested in them. I also would prefer for him to be standing and not sitting as much as possible. So, unfortunately, people train dogs to sit a lot, or fortunately, But the problem is that in the end, most of the time when we want dogs to show zen is when they're walking. And so doing it when sitting doesn't translate really well to real life situations. Now, with cats, sure, I do zen when they're sitting a lot because I don't want them to grab me with their paws. And so, that means that our end situation looks very much the same as the training situation. So who wants to try this? Do you see what am I doing to keep him standing? I'm doing a couple things in my
You're keeping the treats just above his ability to reach them standing up.
Yeah, I'm keeping them relatively low. So I often talk about dogs' bodies as fulcrums. So if the dog's head is too high, their butt's gonna go down. So I'm trying to encourage him to stand by keeping the treat low. What else am I doing?
Tossing the tree away, so you're keeping him moving, so he's not getting just stationary.
Yeah, I'm tossing the treat so that if he anticipating the treat's gonna move, then he's not gonna sit. Once he's really good, then I can feed him in his mouth. I just wanna make sure that he's not gonna, be SITing over and over again. And then after this, I'm going to be rewarding him with the treat in his mouth. So you see me have a really real preference for the liver. So we can, let's do that because I love this size. In this sheet that I wrote you guys up yesterday, notice that I said that you want large treats. It's because later, when we put the treats on the floor, we want to be able to see them because if we lose track of them, the dog won't lose track of them. And then we'll be in trouble.
So I have a question. If the dog is, so yesterday I was
Before you ask your question, let's multitask. Somebody So who would like to handle Mr. Percy before he gets impatient? Okay, you have some treats in your tree pouch?
I have small ones.
Oh, that's okay, I mean, just hold them very,
But they are stinky.
yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So if,
Oh, careful with your sit. Keep your treat a little bit lower. Yeah, I love that you step back. Okay, so he is kind of getting a little crazy for them. What is that?
It might just be you, like,
A bill jack.
if he, like, we trained with him this morning versus Beth, I don't know if you worked
Nice.
with him.
There you go.
Right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, as you change her change.
Wanna get over here, Beth?
No, she's got it. Yep, he's a lot better now. Yeah, changing handlers makes a big difference. Changing handlers, changing treats, changing your location makes a big difference. So once Beth gets to the point where she's pretty sure he's gonna stay standing, then she's gonna be good with his mouth. Good, nice. Let's just get 4 in a row and then we can move on to the next thing. I just wanna get 4 really,
I'm over here now.
quick, successful responses in a row. So now we can move on to the next step, which is you're gonna lower your treats 4 inches down. So you make it a little harder for him, because it's gonna be, it's not easier to access. But our goal is to be able to put the treats on the floor. Okay, ask your question, I'm still listening.
oh yeah, so like, if the dog is really, really trying to grab your hand, so if the dog's really trying to grab my hand, I'll just hold it, close it until they stop and then I'll reward.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we should do or should we do something else?
Well, I would say if the dog, it's up to your discretion because it could be all sorts of levels of arousal that you're seeing.
Yeah.
So if the dog is just like blowing their own minds, just trying to get the food out of your hand, then probably I would try holding the treat a little bit higher. And if the dog is still like jumping and going crazy, then you can reduce the value of your reinforcer. So there's a bunch of things that you can do.
Yeah, because Veronica yesterday was just super keen on getting.
Yes, I saw your video. I would have definitely held the treat a bit higher. Oh, he keeps going after. So if he does kind of chase your hand, just close it, like, Suzanne was saying. PC, eating in school. He is all about that sitting.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's not a big deal, because later when we're on the leash, he's gonna automatically be standing and walking around, so it's okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna go on to the next level. So does anyone wanna just be the, cause I wanna make sure that everybody gets their hands on him. So the next level is you're gonna work to this point where you're holding the treat as, when you're holding the treat, so low. How do you Bill Jacks do? You like those Bill Jacks? You're gonna hold the treat so low, that it's almost like you're gonna put it on the ground, but as low as it's comfortable for you.
I think that's what I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna make sure, since we're switching handlers, I always kind of lower their criteria. Yes. So, you know, because, oh, now you're different. Now you're different. Okay, so I just kind of do this. Oh, that's all right. Yes, I'm gonna give it to him because I'm lowering my criteria because it was quite hard for him. Yes. Okay, so anyway, at this level, I'm gonna hold my treat as low as I can, and the goal is, yes, is I'm gonna like hold it as low as I can stand comfortably. So I'm like usually like this. My knees are usually bent, but it might not be, yes, comfortable for everyone. That's excellent. You know, I want him to see that, yes, that I have them, but I'm like thinking about putting them behind me. You think I'm luring you to sit down? Yes.
So you said cough up again.
Whoa, sorry. He's like, oh, that's me. So there it is. He knows he's got to stay away from it. That's the important thing. Yes, otherwise I don't care what he's doing. Okay, so who wants to try that? Just like hold it super low. We just want to get 4 in a row and then we'll move to the next level.
I can try.
Okay. Go. Next. Alright. Oh,
It's a free
Oh.
run.
Oh no. Oh, it's just so barely out of his reach.
so already we've done several kind of discrete training exercises. Like, you know, teaching him that if we're holding the treat up high, if we're holding it down low, he should make eye contact with us. Those are two separate things. Then we're gonna do putting the treat on the floor. And as soon as you're able to start putting the treat on the floor or dropping the treat on the floor, you want to change reinforcers. As soon as you can, whenever you're training anything, if you want the dog to generalize, or the animal to generalize, you want to change your reinforcer as much as possible. So she'd already be thinking the next step, like, okay, I know Percy really likes toys, so, you know, let's bring out a toy. Because if you're like 5 steps down the line and you haven't changed reinforcers, Percy, like, think about Coolio, be a donut, he only is a donut for treats.
Yeah.
You ask him to be a donut for a toy, it's like, he has no idea what you're saying. It's totally confusing. Percy. Not saying that we can't fix that, it's just a lot harder if he did it, I think.
I know, I messed up. He looks at me and looks at me and I was like,
Well, luckily he's very resilient. I think he's a fun dog to train. I think you got 4 in a row anyway. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is the critical step. Well, why don't we actually first do toys? Because I think it's so important because people do not generalize reinforcers. So let's make sure we do that.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, that's okay because, okay.
So are you gonna lower your criteria to the new
Yes,
reinforcer?
exactly.
Oh, wow.
Make it easier.
Yeah, I felt it. It was quite the projectile. So now I'm gonna go back. Yes! Go get it! Yay! Good job! Do you want it? Uh-oh, Morgan's gonna get it. Did he ask you for it by making eye contact? Alright, I think we have more stuff here. So we're gonna, oh, thank goodness for you, I would've fallen right Alright, so yeah, I'm starting from step 1, and I wanna make sure I get 4 in a row right away. Look, I'm not getting it right away. Right, so he doesn't, yes, he still hasn't learned that toys are also reinforcers for this particular behavior. Good job. All right, so who wants to try this? I can pull out some more toys. Let's do this one.
I'll do it.
Be prepared to get knocked over, I guess. All right, let's see what else we got here.
So if it's a dog that's like constantly wanting you to pay attention to it or pet it or whatever,
Yeah,
you can use affection as a reinforcer.
And this is a super thing for those cats who are always like biting you to get your attention because that happens all the time. So guess what? You gotta teach them acceptable ways of getting your attention. You can even, if you're having a great deal of trouble with impulse control with an animal. Aww.
Should I throw it?
Does he make eye contact?
Yes. He just did. Should I throw it?
Yeah. That was sweet.
He's the cutest. I might steal him back. Don't tell Sharon.
Yes.
Just don't take him anywhere his microchip can be scanned.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Percy. Yes. Very nice. I love how your yes happened at the exact moment to make eye contact with you, like turning on the light switch. And also, you only say yes when you're gonna give him something. Yes. Super. Maybe somebody could grab some like yes too, plushies, so we make sure.
Here, I'll go grab some
plushies
plushies.
and things. Yeah, and we can add this to the thing, like he wants pets and he asks for pets in a really good way. We can, you know, get him to make eye contact with us at the same time as not being in our space, for making eye contact. So since while we're this point, do you have any questions? Okay, so now we can start holding the toys lower. I think he's starting to get it. Oh, what is this? Nice, good job. Very good. That was brilliant. So he did that right away. I know that he's, oh, thanks.
Do it again.
Yes. Look at Troy. I love that. You really care what we think, don't you?
Now, if we're doing this with toys, like, do we have to keep drop it or give or whatever?
No, I mean, I'm just trading with him. I'm just trading with him right now. I mean, that's always something that you can do too.
Yeah, I guess like if you're
Ooh.
Oh,
Impolite greeting.
That was impolite.
Okay, so maybe if he looks at you, you can give him
Yes.
one of those. He's like, no. Yes. He's like, I wanted those things, clearly.
Oh, and squeak.
just a
Yeah,
question
just-
about, so we started at the
Yes.
very kind of up high and then got to here and then we've just moved over and generalized. So,
Yes. I would go back to once we teach the putting it on the floor and move back to trees because that's kind of how we introduce the new concept for him anyway. So from here, he's had like a longer training history. So we'll just do this a little bit and then we'll move back to the trees. Was that your question? I just interrupted.
yeah, no, but I guess just in the, because I had a quick look at this morning, it kind of says to go through until you can put the trees on the floor and then move to the non-food boards.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Move on to the food boards, but then after that, go back to trees. Because we're gonna put, I think it says there too, to put the trees on the floor.
yeah, it was actually, it says to go through,
Look at his ears.
use the trees. And then to the point where you actually have them on the floor, and then you can move to the non-food.
Oh, yeah, but then after that, when you're doing this, then you have like a bunch of, you have the bunch of, trees on the
Yeah,
floor.
I guess what I'm saying though, we moved to.
Oh, to like drop the thing.
We've not moved to non-food rewards
Yeah.
earlier than that. That
Right.
was just my question, like, and I know this, you know, it's flexible.
I would say at the very latest, that would be when you move to the boards. I mean, ideally, your whole training program would be like, oh, now he's got eye contact, and then he's got 4 in a row, like, get something out.
So like yesterday when I was working with
Oh,
her,
that's
she
not
was
bad.
already her toy. When I was training with
Yes.
her, so I could have done what this toy instead.
Right. Alright, I'm gonna move on. Let me see if he'll do it. Let me see if he'll do it. Because he's like, no, I really like that. Oh, that was too hard. Yeah, there you go. Alright, you wanna move back to the food? Alright, super. So I'm gonna grab the biggest piece of liver that I can find. And actually, let me just do it a couple more times with some small pieces to get him back down to earth. Here it is. Good.
I don't have any more, dude.
Still trying to get it, so I really want him to, I wanna get 4 in a row where he just looks at me right away. So if he like mugs my hand and before looking at me, I mean, we could do it with treats too, fine. And with toys, if he really prefers the toy, and that's fine because the toys are bigger anyway. The only thing about the toys is it takes so much longer, so I mean, we don't have time. Maybe I'll try with the Bill Jacks then.
That's not big like that idea.
A lot of times we like tiny toys, tiny things because let's make it challenging. A giant dog and tiny treats. Why not? Alright. The life and Jacks the best. Alright. So what I usually like to do is I like to when I move to the floor, I like to have my hands free. So I only use one treat at a time. Here, you can do a treat punch. And I'm gonna stand with my feet shoulder width apart, and I'm gonna shuffle back and forth, like I'm petting a goalie kind of. And we can't let him get it. So if I lose track of my treat, or if I think, oh my god, he's gonna get this treat. I'm gonna like block it, like step on it or sit down on top of it. So, or like, you know,
Just prevent him from getting.
yeah, he cannot get it. Alright, ready? So I'm gonna stand with my feet shoulder width apart. I'm gonna very obviously put it on the ground. He's gonna ignore it. He's like, somebody else.
Oh,
That's funny.
Percy.
I might have to try something bigger. Cause he's got bad eyesight. Like, treats are on the floor, you know, he doesn't take them. We can do it with a toy. Fine, it's gonna take a bit longer, that's okay. Which toy does he want the best?
Which one?
Yeah, that was the alligator.
Here. Okay, we might have to switch. So, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. Feet shoulder width apart.
so gross.
Put it behind. Yes, good job! Very smart. Oh. Give him another toy. Get it! Good job! You got it! You got it! You got it! Good boy! Oh, let's not pick it, because we like it. Alright, let's see if he'll do the drop thing. Will you drop it? He's making eye contact with me. Here, let me trade. Yeah. Oh, here you go. We don't have time to do drop it now. But there's a great video on Drop It on the Facebook page. Yes, good job. Go get it. Get it, get it. Good boy. Get it, come on. You did it. Yeah, feel reinforced.
He's like, no, you don't take it from me.
Here you go. Good job. All right, so who wants to try this? I think you have different toys too. This one's not. So. Oh, that's so good. Yay! Here, you can try him with one of these. I'll go get a different toy because that one's losing its value.
He really likes the tires, the rubber tires.
Oh, okay.
That's a good, one. Rubber tires are good for him too, because he's got big jaws that can crunch anything.
Yes, good job. Percy, who's that? Who's that?
He's so smart. No, no, it isn't. Wait, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. How funny would that be? I know.
Good job.
I like how you shuffled there. I know. And he's pretty good at that, like literally.
Losing it.
You just have to move a little quicker with it. Like he's not quite got the kind of agility that she has, you know. Hyper, but you're just she demonstrated
Good boy, go get it.
You read my shadow today.
That's our car.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, so, you want to like a new toy?
Sure.
How about a chicken leg?
Oh. Oh yes, that seems pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Nice? Oh, good job! Go get it!
Yeah, that skinny thing.
What's the matter? He's not like going after them. I just use that as a reinforcer. I wonder if like, it seems like a shock collar kind of thing to do, like if the dog was like, maybe out. He seems like, oh, I'm not gonna take anything.
Do you want the crocodile one? My dog kind of does the same thing. She just like supports like floor toys. Maybe he just like wants the ones in your
Yeah, you might
hand.
like the fish too.
Oh, yeah, the fish. He wants
It does
it.
squeak, you just have to squeeze it really hard.
He wants the chicken leg again. Try a chicken leg. Yeah, he's like, well, if they put there, I'm just gonna take some. the right thing. So you notice that we say yes?
Yeah.
The yes happens at the exact time that he makes the eye contact. So it's like he's pushing this button that makes us do what he wants. Maybe, I got an idea. Maybe the delivery isn't quite right. Right? Reinforcement delivery is so important. Yes! He was looking at me and walking back and forth. See? Good job!
I want-
Yeah. Good job. Here, let me trade. I can't go through this one. Yes! Good job! Here. Hey. Okay, so it looks like the tossing, so the toy isn't a reward unless it's tossed. Yes, good job. Good. Good boy. You got it. All right. Oh, good. I love it when he does that.
I think it's, I was going to say as well, when you put him behind your feet, he seems to react differently depending how you put it behind your feet.
Yeah, like if you drop it.
Yeah, like if you just place it, he's
Yeah.
less interested, whereas if you're like...
Well, that's the next step
and then put it
anyway.
down.
It's like dropping the item behind you. Oh, so like maybe like this. Yes. Good job. Go get it. Oh. Get it. Good boy. Get it. Good job. Yes. Yeah. Go get it. Poor Beth. She's like in the path. Okay, this seems to work. Aw. Oh.
He seems to like the squeaky toys.
The crocodile one had a squeaky toy. Oh, block it! Oh no! Yeah, so that's like the trick. It's like you have to always imagine that the dog's gonna block it. Because if you don't block it, the dog's kind of learning that I can just push faster. I'm faster than she is. So here is where the dog is learning that we have the physical ability to block him. Because later when we don't, he will Good job. Ooh,
I know, I was going to say, because I can imagine like with a dog like Lulu, blocking it would be a bit harder because she's pretty quick.
I think you can do it. I have never, ever lost a Niner in pet
So
pet.
Lulu, so Lulu.
To any dog in all my years of training, I've never ever lost. I mean, one day I'll just be too old. Maybe I'll just find another way to do it. So the next step is you're gonna drop it. You're gonna open the door. Yes. And then you're gonna grab it. Go get it. Yay! Good job. So if you're teaching people, if you're teaching caregivers to do this exercise, remember that we are also discriminative stimuli. We are gonna predict outcomes for the dog. So like, let's say, I'm sorry for calling you out, but let's say that Dulce had that, like, you know, one time where he got the toy away from her, or like you sent, you know, the caregiver home with the dog, and the dog has gotten the toy away from them. Then be prepared that when you're training with that person, that the dog's not going to behave the same way, because this is all about history of reinforcement. That's why you have to do this so many times. Oh, that was so cute. You like pushed it over. Very nice. And also, I love it that Dulce has like not, you know, like you're saying at this level, and then when you're ready, you can like let it fall and then open the door. Because you want to make sure that each person has that history of reinforcement with the dog. So here we're like not really doing it in a kosher way because we're kind of doing it in the quick and dirty way so we can cover as much as possible. But if I were working with another person, I would have them practice at every single level to make sure they also have that history of reinforcement. Okay. All right, well, let's move on to the next part.
And I guess the thing about that as well is the more people do it, the quicker the dog will generalize, so they'll get through the stages quicker.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so The next step is, now we're just gonna kind of breeze through this part because I wanna get to the unleash bit. So the next part is when your dog is very, very good at this open the door, close the door thing, you can start just kind of putting your toy, yes, good job, go get it, get it. You gotta like drop it out a little bit to the side so you're not blocking it anymore. Let's see if he'll drop it. Well, recently he was just pulling me along the floor. Yes, good job. Yes, good get it. Good boy, you did it. You did it. Yes. We're not doing drop it. Let's see. Yes, very nice. Go get it. So I dropped it off to the side. I may have been on the ground, which is a bit different, but I was pretty sure he wasn't going to get it. Thanks. Like Julio trying to put toys in my bag.
It's fun to speak.
Or if you mouth them out.
So who wants to try that off to the side?
Oh, sure.
And like in the description, I'm talking about like, you know, the face of the clock. So like first you're dropping it here, and then you're gonna kind of drop it here, and then here, and then here. You know, you're gonna like, you know.
Do all the way from 3 to 6.
Yeah, because you can protect 6 o'clock really easily. You can't protect 3 and 9 very easily. And then a lot of dogs, eventually I work with them on like throwing the toys behind them, so I can definitely not get it. So
So is that why you were like on the ground for that? Because it's easier for you to block it, or
yeah, it was.
do you want to?
No, I just happened to be on the ground.
Okay.
No, it would not have been easier for me to walk it. I need my feet.
He knows.
Oh my gosh, is it 3? Because I think Lena's waiting for me for something.
No,
It's like
she's got
250.
Okay.
He wants the
He wants
toy.
the
He knows the toys are on.
You can give him a treat or something, at least acknowledge it at this
Ugh,
stage.
this is so slimy.
Otherwise, alright, so.
You don't even
alright,
want it
I think
anymore.
let's move on to the leash thing because this is really critical and I don't see a lot of people practicing this. Okay, so let's get him on the leash. Would you like to get him on the leash and then I will prepare the treat area? So let's pick up our toys.
Lead,
We can just put them
just
out.
the lead or the heart his phone?
The front of harness, I guess. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, no, you're like, oh, it's like toys.
He definitely is into the toys.
I mean, we can do it with toys too. I guess you could do everything with it. It's just easier with treats right away, and then, you know, if he'll do it with the treats, then also do.
You got your big old tail and I'm like,
Where did the toys go?
that's not fair.
That's making me sad. So if you could do me a favor and just fold him, like, I don't really like these. I guess I'll just use the build. I wish they made giant little bags. Alright. Okay, so hold on to him. I'm gonna put him over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, camera. I mean, we could also put them on a chair, I guess.
Yeah, nobody's in the yellow chair. He's leaning forward so hard.
Oh, I think this is okay. Is that all right? Yeah. All right, super. So in the very beginning, I'm gonna carry treats in my hand. Also, be very aware, as always, when you walk dogs, that you want to, thank you for being with me. You want to like have a side that you want them to be on. So if yes, good job. So I like to have dogs on my right side because I have reactive dogs and I don't want to pass dogs and they, yes, good job. Anyway, so what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of, yes, when I notice that he sees the treats, I'm going to wait until he makes eye contact, yes, and every time he makes eye contact, I'm going to reward him with a treat from my hand. Yes, good job. And when we get close enough that I think he can lunge for the treats, so I'm not going to let him get them. He's got to follow me, and then I treat him after we turn. Good. So this is the critical step. You want to be very aware of if the dog can get the treats. They're high, so it's like right in front of his face. He's very strong. again. I know that he already wants to go there. Well, we're not gonna go there. Next to me. Yes. Go. So I can barely just take one step. Yes. That's because he doesn't really know his exercise very, very well. We just transitioned to the leash. Yes. So here we are. We're at the red zone, so to speak. Yes, good job. There, very nice. That was much better this time.
So when you're in the red zone, you're taking a treat from the pile? Or did you just have him run out?
I'm taking the treat from the pile. I need him to know that he is getting the thing that he wants. So let's see if we're a little bit more fluid now. I'm trying to make sure that there's little tension on the leash. Because I don't want him to think that it's just because of the leash that he's not getting them. Yes. Good job. Very nice. Excellent. Oh, I happened to get 3 that time. So does anyone want to try? Yeah. And despite the fact of they're gross.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give you a few more just to make sure you have enough.
Just a little covered in slime.
There you go. But you can see that I'm not super strong. He's a very strong dog and he doesn't have a gentle leader, but I can feel very comfortable holding him with one hand this way.
And so I'm only treating him when we're turning around?
Yes, there you go. You're treating him every time you take a step. So basically, let's have somebody else do it just until for sure step by step, and you can follow along in your group. So basically, yes, whenever he looks at me, I'm taking 2 steps, one with my left, one with my right. Yes, I'm being aware what side he's on. Yes, I'm stopping every time he's thinking about those treats. And I know because I'm looking at his body language. Very nice. Whoops. And Dulce's gonna pick that one up. What do you notice that? It's fine. Yes. Here, why don't we go back and get them? I'm also very, 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 very cognizant of whether he can actually get the treat or not. We want him to think you can have almost anything you want if you ask nicely for it. I'm not gonna say no. I always tell my husband this. If the kids ask him for stuff and he doesn't want to give them to him, think about when or what contingencies will have to be in place for them to get that item. Perry was throwing the ball in the car yesterday, and Matt took the ball away, understandably. And when Perry asked for the ball back, Matt said no. We were in the car, and I said, well, do you think that maybe he could get it back when we get home? Yeah, so instead a good answer would be, when we get home, or when you look at me.
I wonder who the favorite parent is.
The favorite parent? Oh, yeah, because I basically never say no. All right, so pick your side where you want him.
I want drawing.
And so if he looks at you, you can always give him a treat, yes, and take a step towards the thing. Oh, now you stop. Every time he wants it, you stop. He's looking at me. Every time he wants it, you stop, and you wait for him to make eye contact with you. And then when he does, say yes, give him a treat at the same time as stepping forward, 1 foot, 1 foot. And then you're gonna, when he looks back at the treat, that's yours. Yeah, very nice. Oh, that was very nice. Okay, no. Yes. Get it, take a bit closer. I think you're in the red zone right now. So, okay, now grab a treat from the chair. Now turn to your left. Say, please help her.
No.
Okay, just wait.
You're looking at me.
So when he looks at you, you can go ahead and get one of them. Good. Go ahead and get one of them.
Being
Yeah,
nasty.
and then turn again to your left. So in the instructions.
Oh, I did.
In the instructions, you might see that I make a note that you're going to turn with the dog on the outside because it's the easiest way to turn. It's so much harder if the dog is going this way and you want to turn with them on the inside. It's hard because you're crashing into them. Let's just start with turning on the outside first because, one thing at a time. This is the easiest way to do it. All right, look at Oh, he wants to do it again. Go ahead. He's says, may we please approach the chair with the treats on it? And it'll be so much easier when we have more space, like if we did this outside. Maybe we'll just be able to, maybe let's just do it with one other person, and then I think we can call it. And if tomorrow, if you guys come again, and it's not all new people, then we can pick up where we left off and do something more.
Who else wanted to
Who else would like to do it?
I felt like we got two good ones. I'd like to do it then. Oof. Look, now Meg has the treats.
Oh, those are gonna be so tasty for that.
Oh, yes. I'm very slimy. I don't
So you might notice just in the beginning of the sheet, I have a list of, potential situations where you might use PetZen, but you can use PetZen almost in any situation when the dog wants something, and because they want something, they do something that you don't like. Like, you can think of anything, but the typical things are like pulling on the leash for stuff. Pulling on the leash for like things that happen, like a squirrel runs past, or they come across some garbage, or.
So if he doesn't look at the chair, can I
That's
still
okay.
reward him for looking
Oh,
at me?
he just looked at it and looked at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Never take your eyes off the
People are talking to you, and you're like,
I know, why does the dog always choose to do the thing when you're not looking at him? Alright, stop. As soon as he pulls, you stop. I mean, stop where he can't get it. Gotta wait for him to do the right thing. If that is not the right thing, and you don't pay that. Good, cause just imagine, just imagine he weren't on the leash, and we wanna try to approximate, the ideal behavior as much as possible. He's like, I'm asking so hard. And I wonder too if he felt weird about that. Like he lunched for them and then something weird happened and just that he was keeping that away from it. There's
I guess it's probably some kind of ingrained thing about the short collar transit.
like he did a bad thing and we were like, oh.
We noticed when we were doing his gentilier burns that it seemed like he was not into having the neck loop around, like he was not liking it. I know, it makes me wanna go punch those people in the face a bunch. I was telling Melissa earlier, I don't know how Carrie did
he's good at it. I'm leaving it. Very good. I won't make the same mistake again then. That was so good. Good job. All right, well, I think we can put him up unless anyone's just dying to do it one more time. If you have any questions?
I was gonna say you have a phone console.
I do.
According to the calendar.
So this is our put up the dog and ask questions. And also we'll meet again tomorrow if you can. And, if it's more or less the same people, then we can speed past the initial stuff. And we can work on more real world applications.
Cool. I'm gonna go see, Camille just had him in the backyard, I'm gonna see if he was able to pee and poop.
Yeah,
She's
thanks for
just in the
coming.
backyard.
Thanks for
Like,
coming.
Camille would take him over to the backyard.
Oh,
So,
Camille was going like that.
Oh,
He was like,
yeah, she's using the bathroom